You shared on your Instagram during the protest last year for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, something that I felt. You wrote, "I'm done trying to make the oppressed feel at ease, the oppressor feel at ease by remaining quiet." That's very powerful. Is that sort of the influence of your grandmother?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and the beautiful part about my grandma is that she grew up militant, but then also so open. You know, her husband now of over 25 years is like 20 years younger than her, and a white guy adopted from a small town in Texas. And he loves her, and they, you know, have this really unconventional, like awesome life together. And she's very open. And I think what's great is I was taught to not be quiet. To when you see something, say something. Stand up for it, no matter how small it is or big it is or what you think is small or big. Like, it all matters, you know? It really does. And I think that was my biggest concern with the issues leading up to George Floyd and on social media, and people kind of like almost, how can I say this? They were overcompensating with their support or belief, where I'm like, it's okay, but we just trying to say, like, we're humans, just want to be treated like a human, not like a person in a zoo who's different, just like a human, because we are. So either you're going to not be quiet about it and say something about it, or you are just as bad as everybody else who's like actively making a choice to be a racist. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not, it doesn't have to be that deep. You were making it deep because it's not our issue.
Yeah, we had Dr. Kendi on the show, and he was talking about, you know, being an anti-racist and how that's different from just saying I'm not racist. And it's just it's an action. It's something that you have to wake up in the morning and make up your mind to do.
Right. Or if your friend says a backhanded comment, are you going to be like, hey, man, why are you saying that? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know?
I've gotten into a lot of, I actually got threatened to be slapped in the face when they get to LA, because I said it was this Asian girl, and it was Black History Month, and she had posted some fried chicken, some real racist shit, and it was this Black comedian that was like reposted it and laughing about it. I'm like, how are you allowing her to spread this crap during Black History Month? And I felt like
is she a comedian? Was she trying to be funny? Was that what it was?
The girl was trying to be funny, but it did not come off as funny at all.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do a racist joke, it needs to be funny. Yeah. It wasn't funny.
Period.
And so I was calling out the other.
Make sure your racist jokes are funny, everybody.
Make sure your racist
that
jokes
is the
are
message
funny.
of this show.
Or don't be racist, but if you are going to do it,
for real.
And it's just because I had to speak up, because it's like, how are you allowing, this is your friend, and you're allowing her to talk like this now? That's a reflection on you. And, you know, she threatened to slap me instead of listening, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I get threatened to be assaulted every day on the internet. Like I said in another show, I talk too much and people be like, we're going to come and shit you up. But just to add on to what you're saying, what I get a lot of is for someone to always say something every time they see something. Not everybody can do that. Some people are they have anxiety, they have stress, they have a job where they can't be going off on the internet because it's going to reflect on their job.
Of course.
And so it becomes a situation where not everyone can do that. And for some people, it's triggering. It brings up traumatic situations. But what I don't like is people who go out of their way to tell the people who are deciding to do that to stop.
Yes.
Like, you had the time to make a comment here. But instead of telling the person, the racist that I'm calling out, hey, stop being racist, you tell me, hey, ignore that racism because you can't solve it.
Because you're not emotional. Like, you know, like you're too emotional, you're too sensitive. And it's like, you know, like you said, the people who are triggered, the people who maybe don't have the voice. It's strength in numbers. So when you have other people, strength in numbers. You have people that are like, okay, I'm going to stand up. Yeah. I'm going to take that leap of faith and take the risk because, you know, back in the day, it was life or death. More so like, oh, I'll just make an Instagram comment and maybe my coworkers will see it. It's, oh, I'm actually going to get beat up and beat to death in the street.
Right.
Or hung. Or my house is going to get set on fire. You know, it's like, you can say something without it being so offensive or like, aggressive in that way. Like, it doesn't have to come from a place of anger. It can come from a place of love more so. Like, hey, I just...
Yes, indeed.
You know?
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
everyone
But it
should
is an
lead with
interesting
love.
discussion. I got rid of my Instagram. I'm happy.
Did you?
I sure did.
I've
feel
taken
you.
breaks, but I'm not
Yeah.
ready to get rid of it. But I have had to take breaks.
I deactivated it, got rid of my, app, and I had never done that. And I've had a healthy relationship with Instagram for the most part of just posting when I wanted to and genuinely having fun with it, genuinely having fun seeing friends on there, like just girly things. I'm like, ooh, I get to like see all these
Right.
different pages and feeds and kind of filtering out how I want the energy exchange to go. But then after a certain point, I was just like, this is my life and I just need the privacy.
It's crazy you said
know?
that because that was, and I haven't said this publicly, but this is something I've been thinking about. I've sort of been alluding to it over the last few interviews. That was going to be my New Year's resolution.
to get off of social media?
No, just to delete the Instagram app for a month.
For a little bit,
Just for a month to see what that does for me. Because there's so many things. I can't not be on it. I have, shout out to Donna, I have people who help me. I have people who can post for me and do things for me. I
Yeah.
can still keep my Instagram going without it being on my phone.
Let me tell
So
you
that's
this,
what I think
I
I'm-
don't even remember when I deleted it. It could be 3 weeks ago. It could be a month ago. I don't really remember because after a certain point, it was like the instinct of checking it went away.
Yeah.
And the instinct of checking in with my life and my surroundings and like doing more just with my time became more important. So
right.
highly recommend. It's really cool. And I didn't realize how much anxiety it really does
Oh, for
put on
sure.
you.
Every time I post, I get
didn't
anxious.
realize. And not even, doesn't even have to be crazy or like I'm comparing all the time or checking on likes. It's just like it's a thing of like checking a notification or seeing if somebody saw what you, it can be a lot on the mental. So you make room for other things.
Yes.
Ooh, it is definitely a lot. And I have taken a break, like I said, but for me, I'm still very early in my career. So I feel like I'm not in the same boat where I could just be like, okay, let me not be on social media. Because it's kind of like if I get off of social media, I feel like, oh, people will just forget about me and then I'll miss out on an opportunity. So I'm definitely working on that.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. They can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it.